Good afternoon, I'm Nornes. I'm a Norwegian American.
And I'm Toan Nguyen. I'm from Vietnam.
Nico Pasquarella. I'm Italian and German.
And this is Cultural Foods! Obviously we come from different backgrounds, and we have different cultural foods to come from that. Today we're going to show you one food from each of our different cultures.
Hi, I'm Nico Pasquarella, and my culture, I'm Italian, and I brought some pepperoni bread to share with you guys. This is going to be the first thing we show you. It's a pretty common dish in Italy. First I'm going to tell you a couple ingredients that helps make this. First, it's the dough, just classic standard dough that you would use for pizza or anything like that. Pepperoni, doesn't matter what kind. Lots and lots of mozzarella cheese. And that's basically all that is on the inside, a little bit of olive oil. And then on the top, as you can see here, there's oregano, there's a little bit of shredded basil and parsley, and Parmesan cheese, and again, olive oil all over the top, just kind of helps it all stick together and stay. And crushed red pepper, forgot about that. If you like a little spice like I do, add a little crushed red pepper. Now that we know what's in it, I'm going to show you how to make it. So basically, take the dough, stretch it out, make it kind of oval shaped, you know what I mean? Like basically a pizza, but oval, not circle. And you grab some pepperoni, and you cover the whole dough in it, so it just looks like pepperoni pizza, basically. Just load pepperoni on it. Then you're going to take some mozzarella right here, and you're just going to sprinkle it all over, just bunch, all over the whole thing. Then once that is done, you simply roll it up. So here's the oval, you go like long ways, roll it up the long way. And make sure that when you wrap the dough, it sticks together, which is where the olive oil comes in, helps the dough stick together. So wrap it up, and then put some olive oil all over the top, just cover the dough in it, and then you sprinkle on crushed red pepper, the Parmesan cheese, oregano, what other spices you like for perfect pepperoni bread. After this is baked for 45 minutes, you're going to want to let it cool and let the bread rise for 2 to 3 hours. After that process is done, you're ready to serve. You can serve it hot or cold. I would recommend hot to probably taste a little bit better. Cold, you know, it's just like cold pizza, it's not as good. When it's served traditionally, the Italian side of my family is out of New York, so when I go visit for Christmas, Thanksgiving, stuff like that, we usually have, 6-7 course meals, and something like this would get brought out in between 2 main courses, almost like an appetizer, something like that, just kind of tie you over to the next meal. Goes great with wine. I don't know if I can say that because I'm not 21, but in the Italian culture we do drink a lot of wine. Pepperoni bread ties into my culture pretty well. It's been around for generations and it will stay around for generations. It's kind of just a traditional bread, lunch meal. For me, what's cool about it is my grandpa was born in Caserta, Italy, which is actually home of mozzarella cheese. It's where mozzarella cheese was invented. So it's pretty cool that I get to use, the home of mozzarella, where my grandpa is from, in a dish like this that I can share with all you guys.
And my name is Toan, and I'm from Vietnam, and today I brought in the traditional dumpling for you guys. The main ingredients are the flour, the special flour, and then the inside, the stuffing is kind of varied, depends on what you like. And here I got an egg, pork, and chopped up vegetables like carrots, onions. And then first you add water to the flour and to make it into dough. And then depends on how big do you want dumpling, that's how much you want to take the dough. And first you flatten the dough, and then for the stuff inside you roll it up as a ball, put it in the middle of the dough, and then roll it up, wrap it up like a ball, just like this. And then you steam it for 20-25 minutes. And this dish is really traditional in Vietnam, and it usually made during New Year Day, and which happened at the end of January. And it is traditional because made with common Vietnamese food, like ingredients and stuff.
Hello, I'm Nornes. I'm a Norwegian American. Today I have krumkake, very common Norwegian dish, usually served around the holiday time. times. To make krumkaka, the dough is very, very simple. All it really is flour, sugar, eggs, almond extract, and butter. And then mixing the dough is really quite simple. All you really do is crack the eggs into a bowl, then put the almond extract in, mix it up. You want to mix it until it's very well whipped and the eggs are beaten to death. Then mix the flour and the sugar into a separate bowl. Mix them in really nice, really smooth, separately. Melt the butter. Then you slowly mix the flour and the sugar in. You don't want to throw it in all at once because otherwise you might get lumps. You stir it in until it's very even the whole way through. Once you stir in the sugar and the flour, then you throw in the melted butter. Stir it in one more time. Then you want to let this batter sit for about 2 to 4 hours. This way you don't get any air bubbles in it. Now to bake the krumkaka is kind of where it gets a little tricky. You start by taking the batter, scooping in a little spoonful, flopping it onto this little krumkaka maker. Close it up. You should have this over a hot stove, about at medium temperature. It depends, it changes from stove to stove. Let it sit for 10 seconds approximately. Then pick it up, flip it over, lay it down. And you should probably let it sit another 10 seconds. Let both sides of the krumkaka bake very well. Then you're going to open it up. It's probably going to stick slightly to one side or the other, so you're going to have to just open up a little bit to know when that is. So when it sticks a little bit, all you need to do is take a knife. You're going to have to scrape a little bit under that just to loosen it up. Then you want to flop it onto the table. Now once this is done, it's going to come out, it's going to be a little floppy, very hot. While it's hot, and you have to do this very quickly, otherwise it'll harden. Take this roller like this, and it'll look like a circular pancake. Put it down. You roll it up onto this little roller. Go until you hit the crease. Press down until it cools. When it cools, it'll harden until you get one of these very nice cone shapes, as you can see. Traditionally, it is made into cones. It is common, however, to have it flat, but this is how it's traditionally done. Like I said, this is a very common Norwegian dish, served typically around the holidays. There's a long history to krumkaka. First of all, when they first made this, they made it over open flame. So this means that these handles on this dish, on this krumkaka maker, would be about 5 feet long, and you shove it into a fire and hold it like one way 10 seconds, and the other way 10 seconds, and you have to hold it over, plop it over for your friend to roll up himself. Another very common thing about krumkaka is that it's also considered art in Norway. As you can see in the inside of a krumkaka maker is these very distinctive etchings. Very, very common, very different. They're about as different as snowflakes because these were traditionally made by hand by the person who owned them. Now, mass-produced ones, not so much anymore. They just make very, very, bland etchings, but these traditional ones look really nice, really beautiful. This one has some wear on it, and it's been made by this is my great-grandmother's originally, so it's been made for many years. So in the krumkaka itself, it doesn't make as great of etchings, but on new ones that are very deep, not as worn, they make great, very distinctive ones.
Want to say it again?
This has been Ethnic Foods. Thanks for stopping by.
We've shown you Vietnamese food, Italian food, and Norwegian food.
Yeah, and now it's dinner time, so you gotta get going, okay?
All right.
This looks good. Love it.
Gotta try this.
Really, really soft and moist.
I haven't eaten anything all day.